segment.
The following is a presentation of Main Street Media, your source for news, sports, and information on Main Street in Middle Tennessee.
Welcome in, everybody. I'm Devin O'Day and Justin Cooligan with me. Little elves have been busy in the studio today.
Yes, they have. They got to work right away.
I'm excited. We're changing things around, and people will say about our studios. We work on our studios here. No, we do not do our shows from home.
Correct. Exactly.
Albeit we can.
Right.
We can. We have a fantastic show today. We're going to be talking about the Nashville Lawn and Garden Show. Randall's going to be joining us. Yes. And then we've got a brand new video debut from Rockland Road. Took place at midnight Eastern time last night. So we got that new song. But we're going to start things off with an interview that I pre-taped because of scheduling with Josh. It's a brand new segment. I'm excited. It's called Miracles on Main Street. I thought we'd start the show with that.
Sweet. Let's do it.
We're going to introduce you to a new segment, and I just can't wait. It's called Miracles on Main Street. And our first miracle is Josh from Brooks Healing Center. Hi, Josh. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
You know, I'm excited to share miracles because miracles didn't stop back in the old biblical times. I mean, miracles happen every day. Would you be kind enough to share a little bit of your story?
Sure. My name's Josh and I'm with Brooks Healing. And if you had told me back on March 15th, 2015, when I got clean, that I would be doing what I do and being on situations like this, I would have probably laughed. But I'm just a normal guy, born and raised in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'm the oldest of 4 children. We were pretty poor, but we did go to a prestigious elementary school down there because my mother played piano for the chorus and she cleaned the school. And so we were able to go on scholarship. And so one of the things that I like to point on is sometimes we look at stories and we don't realize where certain people started feeling certain ways. And I can remember feeling less than at a really early age because at this prestigious school were children of prestigious people, and they had the clothes and the shoes and they drove up in the nice cars. And so as I looked around, I just kind of felt less than in that environment. I'm grateful to it because I did get a really good education, but I started feeling less than at a young age. And to make it kind of quick, I never used in high school. Never had a cigarette, never drank a beer, never did anything. I actually made a pact with one of my best friends not to do that in high school, and we succeeded. But a week after I graduated, I said, well, all these types of folks, the footballers, the cheerleaders, the nerds, the musicians, all these different types of people are doing this, and they seem to be having fun. And so why not give it a whirl? I realized pretty quickly I'm a violent drunk. And at that time, I was 155 pounds, so not exactly street fighter stature. And so it didn't end well sometimes. And then, And then, I saw the folks that smoked marijuana, and I said, well, these folks just kind of listen to Bob Marley and sit in a circle, and it seems way more peaceful on that side of the fence. And so, I tried that. And the third or fourth time that I did that, I said, I do like this. I just don't like paying for it. And so by the time I was 21 years old, I was actually trafficking that on FedEx cargo jets from Phoenix, Arizona into Atlanta and Chattanooga. And I was no longer the poor kid. And so I figured out real quickly that subconsciously I strategically placed people into my life based on what they could do for me. So friends were not something that I really understood, because there had to be a benefit in order to be in my life. And I didn't even know this was going on. While it was going on, it was something my subconscious was doing. I remember the day I got a call, and they talk about the fact that the disease of addiction will change us without our permission. And I remember the day that I got the call that my uncle had died, had overdosed and died. And my brain didn't think, poor Uncle Keith. My brain thought, where did he get those drugs? Because those must be the good ones. And so I went through that full gambit and the full spectrum of how things change and how we process things. And I was 27 when I went into treatment the first time, and I had an oral surgery about 2 years before that. And I remember when they gave me the pain medicine for the oral surgery, I thought to myself, I want to feel like this forever. And that's what I set out to do. And so, I ended up in there for the first time. And I remember, and I was in there, for eating pain medicine, eating pain pills. And I remember they were down in Chattanooga, and they're, in the circle, and they're checking people in, and there's people that they're snorting this stuff. And I was like, you know what, I feel bad for those folks. And I'm so glad I'm not like them, and they always said, it doesn't matter what got you here. It doesn't matter the method, we all need the recovery piece, but I liked to compare myself. And I'm 6'2", and when I ended up in treatment, I was 137 pounds. And this time I was looking around that circle because I was shooting heroin and smoking crack around the clock. That was my life. And I just looked around and I thought, well, there's nobody I can compare myself to this time. And I remember the very first time I got introduced to the recovery process, they talked about the disease of addiction being progressive, being fatal. And I managed to understand that because I was doing more damage in a less amount of time every time that I would start using again. And so one of the things that holds people back and held me back was the stigma. I would report to hospitals, and I would have these marks all up and down my arms, literally from my shoulder down, and I would tell them that I got bit by brown recluses because I was ashamed to say I have a problem with injecting drugs. There was such a stigma. I was taught we get misinformed by uninformed people. And so I truly believe I'm a miracle, and I believe there are so many miracles that come out of this. The reality is also that we never know when we have an opportunity to impact someone's lives, because people often think that you've got to be in work in treatment to impact someone's lives. And I'm not going to give names, but I will tell you that there's a mechanic that's been around in Murfreesboro for a long time. And one of the best examples of recovery I've ever seen was when I took my vehicle to XYZ place, and I finally landed on Z, and he came and told me exactly what was going on, which was a fraction of what everyone else said. And then based on our language and speaking to each other, he realized this guy's in recovery, and I realized he's in recovery. But he did the right thing for the right reason before he ever knew that.
What's really beautiful, Josh, is that you've taken something that could have been a bad story But I always say that when we turn over our will to something greater than we are, it can be used to save lives, and it can be used, and you're believable in a way that someone who's never walked that journey, they won't have the same impact. I'm just going to tell you right now, if someone tells you, but you don't have to do, if they've never understood the disease of addiction, it's very difficult to look into someone's heart and say, I know what will help. You do, you know.
It is. I used to teach a group of guys. A lot of them had come out of state facilities, prisons and jails. And I would ask them, what is all your expertise? And, they would raise their hands and say different things. And I would write things on the board. And I would say, I'm going to disagree. I'm going to say that those of you that are in front of me, like myself, when we get to this point, the only thing that we're an expert in is army crawling on the ground into our parents' bedrooms and trying to find a wallet or a purse in the dark. We can do it like a ninja. And that's awful to say, but it's the harsh reality. And every head in there was doing like this. And when you're talking to grown men, you see how impactful and what the disease of addiction can really do, because most people can't. But I can certainly remember when I got it back, and it was in a men's recovery home. And I was actually watching a comedy show at 2 a.m. and it woke the other men up and they were upset, but I was laughing like a 7th grade girl and having an absolute ball, because I was like, I'm laughing, I'm smiling again. That's something that we take for granted, is something as simple as a smile. It's also given me back peace, and oftentimes folks in early recovery mistake this for boredom. What it actually is, it's called peace. We're just so used to chaos and drama that becomes the norm. So when we have this peace in our life, it's like, wow, what am I supposed to do with this? Our lead therapist has been in the business for 35 years, our clinical director for 20, and our executive director for 30 as well. And so nothing against recent college grads or anything like that at all, but the combined experience with the folks that are involved here is not anything that we find at too many places. And the fact that they've done it that long and they're still excited to keep moving forward says enough about it itself.
Healing from substance abuse can be a lonely journey, but you don't have to do it all on your own. At Brooks Healing Center, you matter. We're here to lend you love, support, and acceptance on your journey to find yourself again. With medical detox, residential, and partial hospitalization program levels of care, we help you overcome addiction, trauma, and adverse childhood experiences through personalized healing journeys. Our seasoned team of heart-centered staff is here for you with support, compassion, and hope. At Brooks Healing Center, we'll love you until you fall in love with everything you are.
If you're standing on a ledge looking down, wondering if your time has run out, you're too afraid to whisper, too angry to shout, you don't know where your heart is leading you now. Keep the mountains up ahead, keep close to the river, turn where the river bends, leave all your valleys in the rearview mirror. The dust will rise and they will disappear, and you are not lost, you are not lost, you're just making your way. the secrets you hide. You wear a disguise. Your voice is like lies, but you're too afraid to break down, too proud to apologize. You don't want anyone to see the fear in your eyes. Keep the mountains up ahead. Keep close to the river. Turn where the river bends. Leave all your valleys in the rearview mirror. The dust will rise and they will disappear, and you are not lost. You are not lost. You're just making your way. Don't stop dreaming. Don't lose hope. Keep on believing. You're never out there alone. I will love you. Be your friend. It's the beginning. It's not the end. Keep the mountains up ahead. Keep close to the river. Turn where the river bends. Leave all your valleys in the rearview mirror. The dust will rise and they will disappear, and you are not lost. You are not lost. You're just making your way. Making your
Devin, I can't hear you. Is your mic on? There you go.
You know what?
Now I can hear you.
I just did all that, and every now and then static in my hands turns off my microphone, and I'm so sorry for that.
No, I was going to say, well, this has got a great interview. I can read lips a little.
Well, what I was saying is that song we just played was Rockland Road, and Rockland Road was last night raising money for Cure for Our Friends. I was there at the show. Steve Burney, who's watching right now, was at the show. They just did a fantastic job, and brand new single debuted last night. You can find their video on YouTube, and go check out Rockland Road. And Lexi Lou has brand new music. We're going to see her in just a few minutes. She's standing by. But now we're going to talk about butterflies and bees and all good, wonderful things at the Nashville Lawn and Garden Show. It's a week out, right?
Well, we opened Thursday, so yeah, we're a little less than a week out. So yeah, is right. So
look at there. That's right. Thursday through Sunday, March 3rd through 6th at the Expo Center, the fairgrounds in Nashville.
Right. And I got a little behind schedule, so I'm in my truck, as you can see. I'm actually sitting out here at my good friend Bates, David Bates' place at Bates Nursery.
Tell him, hey, he was on our show last week.
Well, I think he's in Mexico, but don't tell anybody that. But anyway, so don't tell. Nobody knows that. But anyway, but his Earth Mix group is helping us out, and we very much appreciate that. But I'm here to look for some. I'm looking for blueberries, so I'm doing a little thing. The garden wise, we have some interesting things, and we're doing one with some chickens and some blueberries. Trying to do some straw bale gardening, some different ideas. It's coming up. So and maybe some earth mix with some tomatoes planted in them. So we're
Oh,
looking for
that's
some fun stuff.
fantastic. We talked about earth mix and stuff, and people don't realize how much there is to actually learning. And people, it's not instinctual. I mean, you really studying gardening, you can really pick up some tips that'll save you a lot of money and a lot of time.
Oh yes, yeah, you can. Well, and there's a lot to pick up extinction, but you need to talk to people who know what they're doing. And
Yeah.
what I do, we do a lot of tree plantings, and it's been fun working with a lot of folks. And planting trees, anybody can do it. Yes, anybody can do it, but to do it well and do it right, it's a little bit of a skill set. So we enjoy trying to help folks learn how to do this, because if you learn how to do it, then you can teach your kids how to do it. So you keep it going. Yeah.
Well, I know that this guy has been a part of what you do there at the Nashville Lawn and Garden Show, the Barefoot Farmer. He really is
The
barefoot
barefoot.
too.
He really is always too, and I don't know. Maybe he's got something in those feet. I'm not sure, but no, he's always barefoot. It can be really cold and he's still barefoot. But no, he will be there. We have a really good lecture series. The lecture series, if anything, this year is a little bit on a little up. It's upplaned a little bit. So some very nice professionals, and if anybody's out there that's professionals, I wish they'd look at our lecture series. It's a good for the homeowner, but it's also good for the professional. It's a lot of good extension agents. There are other people that are experts in their field who are going to be there. And so I'm really, really excited about the lecture series. So
I'm
I
excited
think
about
that
it too.
people will love that.
How
Yeah.
much is the Nashville Lawn and Garden Show? What's the admission? And tell us about parking there at the fairgrounds, because things have changed over the years. I mean,
It changes daily, to tell you the truth. We'll have to be honest about that. They told us that they will have lots of signs to direct folks. Honestly, with that stadium, it's a mess, but there's going to be plenty of room. They'll have shuttles to take people right up to the front door.
oh, good.
And then we are doing something a little different that we're a little nervous about, to tell you the truth, but we're going to do a cashless gate this time, where we're going to ask people to buy tickets in advance, or they can buy tickets on their phone or to get away from the cash. The COVID thing with a lot of cash, and a lot of people are doing this. Christmas Village did it. So I hope people will give us a little pass on that, because we're trying to do something a little different to make us all safe. So
That's
we're doing
perfect.
that this year.
Nashville Lawn and Garden Show.com. Is that correct? Or is
Yeah,
it the?
National Lawn and Garden Show. No, it's .com. National Lawn and Garden Show.com. Tickets are available there, and then we'll have QR codes all over the show. You can be able to go up and scan the QR code, and it'll take you right to a site. And to tell you the truth, we will take cash too, but we're going to try to limit the amount of cash that they use, just to keep us all a little safer.
Yeah, we're all doing our best to work out, and I loved this: birds, bees, butterflies, and blooms, March 3rd through 6th, and I hope that you're going to have some beekeepers there to kind of help people understand about beekeeping in our world right now.
I think we are going to have beekeepers there, and then I'm looking for a frame to put in a display so we'll have bees represented big time, and we have butterflies. We have a butterfly garden going in, so all the bees, butterflies, blooms, all that. The blooms are coming in on Tuesday, so we're looking forward to getting some nice blooming material in.
You mark the beginning of spring for me. The Nashville Lawn and Garden Show, it gets rid. I mean, let's just put it this way. Now, I'm going to say next week is supposed to be beautiful all week long.
It is, yes.
Thank you, Lord, for that, because it has been gray. But you are the event that gets me out of my gray doldrums and kind of moves me into the thoughts of spring. So great ideas for water areas in your yard. And I looked, if you go follow the Nashville Lawn and Garden Show on Facebook, you got great ideas of what's coming in.
Yeah. So yeah, we're real pleased, and it is the start of spring. We've had so much water right now. We talk about water. So sometimes we had too pretty weather. People want to stay home, so people will still come out and see us, and I know they will. So we look forward to seeing everyone.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for your time, Randall, and thanks for hanging out with us. And go have fun at Bates Nursery over there in Whites Creek Pike. We love them.
We do too. I do too. So all good folks here. So
All right.
Thanks for talking with me.
Oh,
See everyone next week.
All right. Take
You
care,
too.
Randall.
Thanks, Evan.
Bye-bye. Well, we're going to head off to a live little visit Lexi Lou is standing by, but Tracy hits from our hits list every Monday and from Hits and Branding. Turn me on to Lexi Lou. She said, "Oh my gosh, you will love her." And for some reason, I did not get. She debuted her new song. She has a live clip of it from last night, but somehow that would not translate for us. But I do have her playing live, and it's from this week, I think. So take a look at Lexi Lou, and we're going to meet her live next.
You'll be just fine when you're walking down the street. Yeah, I know that you know lies. How you what you think, so they tell you what to drink. Who you invite inside if you want to keep it so. You listen close to what I told you. Keep your guard up and your head down. Those spirits come around, I'll be your guide. I'll help you survive in this ghost town. Come on, boy. Hold around tight, make a little love tonight. Little turn dancing on a basement tonight. It's my life. Whoa, so right. Watch out, back here. Watch out, go. Hello, 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 hello. Take me home, let me hear you. To the place where West Virginia or Mountain Mama, take me home. Yeah, country road. The reason I ain't done yet. Keep throwing sticks, ain't afraid of no stitches, my friend. I said yes, thank you. You don't ask me why. Oh, listen. Yeah, I'm weirdly wired. And if you think you know someone like me, you're a liar. Oh, I'm weirdly wired, weirdly wired, weirdly wired. Thank you.
I am so excited that Lexi Lou has joined us. You've been joining us for the whole show. I saw you. I said, I hope she doesn't get bored with us and leave.
No, it was great. Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm so glad that you're here. I wanted people to get just an idea, you know, the troubadours that are part of our lives down in Music City, whether it's on Broadway, whether it's at the lake, whether it's on a boat, you're just everywhere. And being able to entertain someone, just you and a guitar, is pretty darn exciting.
It's a lot of fun. It's different.
You know, you had people up dancing, and people don't realize is that when people come in and they pay their dues in Nashville, it takes a lot, and you got to pound a lot of pavement, and you got to be able to really learn your chops on stage. Where are you from, Lexi?
Originally Georgia, Douglasville, Georgia.
So that's where that bluesy side of you comes from. I was wondering, I said, where's that? Because you got this blues and this southern rock side that's very, very, very cool.
Thank you.
Lexi, what was the first stage that you ever sang on? How old were you?
Oh, well, the first time I ever sang in front of a crowd, my aunt asked me to sing for their wedding. And I think I was like 9.
No pressure there.
9. Yeah. I was so nervous, and I had the karaoke track, and I practiced over and over and over. And
What was the song?
it was a Shania Twain. It was From This Moment On.
Yep. Oh, not a tough song at all.
No, it's very easy for a 9-year-old.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
A couple of those leaps in that song. Oh my gosh.
Right.
Well, Lexi, you have a new song that just debuted today. That just came out. What's the name of the song?
It's called Ghost Town.
What's it about?
I'm so excited about this song. It's about going to New Orleans, which I really need to go back and experience. I haven't truly experienced New Orleans, but my co-writers are the ones who truly brought this song to life, because they had the story of going there and having a ghost tour, and they fell in love with their tour guide. And turns out he writes books
Wow.
about his experiences, and he also adds his friends who are also tour guides, their experiences to his books. Anywho, so Ghost Town is about going to New Orleans and essentially getting your soul taken, but it's just a storytelling song. And the point of it is most people don't realize that the whole city of New Orleans is just built on bodies. I mean, it's settled by the French, and the French settled it from some prisons. And they promised.
It's so funny because I'm from Louisiana, and you
Are
learn
ya?
this in history, and if people who couldn't pay their debts. So kind of like Georgia was a debtor's prison, in Louisiana, they would just, if they were drunk on the streets, they couldn't get anybody to settle Louisiana because it was pretty unforgiving with mosquitoes, and it was hot, and it was a lot of stuff. So they would just pick up drunks on the street, or they said, and if you didn't want to go to prison, you could go to Louisiana. So.
Right.
And so literally that's who built the state, which explains everything.
Right. And then they get over there, and then some were promised, that they would be able to mine minerals and riches, and they get over there and find mosquitoes and alligators.
Yeah. And more.
And more.
But you know what? It turned out, and the way they built the quarter, it doesn't flood. They talk about flooding and stuff and like that. It floods graveyards, it floods around it, but they built up the quarter extra high, so the French quarter is always built up, and they use special. It's a whole design that they did, and the French quarter has never flooded.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Now,
Wow.
I spent some summers going through Tulane, and Tulane University does flood, however. I mean, I cannot wait to hear this song. So Ghost Town, it is out today. Did
It's
you
out
do a
today.
video yet?
I've not done a video. There's some videos online of me doing portions of it. I plan to do a video in the next coming months when it's a little bit warmer. The push to release it so quickly was the tour guide who my co-writers who they had the tour with in New Orleans. He's writing a new book, and he wants to feature the song in his book. So
I absolutely love it. So here's what we're going to do. As soon as I get that live clip and I get it converted to where it will play on our show, we're going to play that on Monday. Just
that's
kind of
awesome.
And Lexi, I want you to tell people how they can find more about you and where they can get your information.
Yeah, well, my name's Lexi Lou. It's the last name spelled a little different. It's Lew. And you can find me today on all streaming platforms. And I have a website, lexilu.com. You can check that out. And I have a cool bio and a little bit of information there. And if anybody else wants to know anything, then they can message me.
Oh, that's fantastic. Lexi, thank you so much for your time today. I know we pulled this together pretty last minute because I was so excited. I almost forgot. I go, wait a minute. Tracy talked about on Monday, she's got one of her people that has a new song out. And so I texted her back and she texted me back and she said, okay, here it is. So anyway, that's how that all worked out. So on Monday, when we talk to Tracy for the hits list, we're going to play a clip of Ghost Town.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you. And come back when you get the video done. Okay.
I would absolutely love to.
All right. And where can we see you live in town this weekend?
Actually, I'm in Chicago right now.
Okay.
This
Since it's the
weekend.
internet, where can they see you in Chi-Town?
Yes, in Chi-Town, I'm at Emerald Isle all weekend.
Oh,
So-
that's fantastic.
And then I'm at a couple of new bars next weekend in Chicago. I think I'm back in Nashville in a month.
Okay.
So
Well, you be careful out there.
I will.
It's crazy cold and all that kind of good stuff. So take care of you. Okay.
I will. And you enjoy that warm weather in Nashville next week.
I'm praying it gets warmer. I'm ready
Yes.
for the warm.
Come
Okay,
on, spring.
that's right. That's right. Well, come on, Ghost Town. See you later, Lexi.
Bye, Devin. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Well, that song debuts today. Don't forget Rockland Road, brand new music. Lots of brand new music coming to us. New Stuff Tuesday. We'll cover some more of that. Well, Justin, it has been a day. We've had a lot of stuff on the show. And there is another thing coming. EdgeCon is coming to Nashville.
Yes.
And I want to tell everybody about EdgeCon. It is a small business conference. And if you are an entrepreneur, EdgeCon is fantastic. It is March 11 and 12. It is in Nashville at the Sonesta. Speaking of Louisiana, the Royal Sonesta is down in the quarter.
The quarter.
The
Bayou.
quarter. Yes, it's in the quarter, the Royal Sonesta. But we've got the Sonesta Hotel in Nashville. Fairly new place. It's going to be a wonderful place. So you get $100 off your admission with the promo code Devon's Edge. And you also, and there is a discount for rooms. You can mention EdgeCon at the Sonesta if you want to stay at the hotel. It's all sorts of great speakers, and I'll tell you more about that on Monday. But if you want to find out about the conference, it is edgeconusa.com. Whew, Lord have mercy. Hey, Joe stopped by. Joe Dubin.
Yes.
From Mornings on Main Street.
The boy.
And he said hi. And then all of a sudden, all the people who were viewing said, hi, Joe. Hi, Joe. Hi, Joe.
Oh, right. Yeah, he's swagger jacking us.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't either.
Well, it might be dirty. I have to look it up in Urban Dictionary to find out if stuff is dirty.
You know that show Gangland?
Yeah.
So I love how they'll like a term will be brought up, and then for people that don't know what they mean, it'll be like murked equals murder. It's like, okay.
Oh,
Thank goodness they clarified that.
I
'cause
know.
I have no idea what
shows that need a glossary.
exactly.
First use of the word
Credits.
glossary. A shout out to my friend Avery Michaels, great singer-songwriter down in, speaking of Louisiana, and Brenda Scott, who was with us today, and Steve Burney, and Steve letting us know there's no sound. Every now and then, I don't know what it is, I have a lot of electricity.
You can feel it through the lens.
Yes, and it'll just turn the mute button on. I'm just like, Lord help us all.
It's a little bandit running around on keyboards muting people.
Big weekend plans?
I actually don't have huge ones, but I think I'm okay with that. I think I'm going to relax and possibly go to Chattanooga. How about yourself, Devin?
I will be hosting Backstage Nashville tomorrow. Doors at 11:15 at 3rd and Lindsley. That is AM. My friend Jill Pavel, my publicist and friend and darling Publicity Nation, she will be in town. And so she's going to be my guest. And Rob Mays is going to be on stage along with some other hit songwriters. It's going to be a fabulous show. 3rdandlindsley.com or backstagenashville.com. And I found something in our show that I'm excited about.
Okay. What is it? I'm excited that you're excited about it because it means it's good.
It's our Friday edition. So I like to close the show with something kind of goofy and kind of fun. But I found this on the gram. And see how I did that.
Gram. Nice.
Every now I'm 60, but I'm not stupid.
I love that.
Anyway, I found this and I thought, I'm going to be this lady. And when I show it to you, this is me. If God gives me 20 more years,
Right.
I hope this is me. See, that's going to be me.
See, that'll be you, but you'll also be singing.
I probably will.
And like with the
and
harmonica band. And
Yeah. That'll be me.
Right.
Well, you guys, I hope that you're having a great time and that you have a great weekend. Oh, Brenda says she needs some suggestions for a Mardi Gras party. Oh, and all my Louisiana peeps, Margie Singleton from Cashata. She's from Cashata, Louisiana. Love the dancing lady. Margie, you are that lady. She is. She is that lady.
That's awesome.
Well, I love me some Margie. Well, y'all have a great weekend. Be safe, everybody. Be kind. And I don't want to miss anybody. Mark. Suzanne and Mark from Alabama just checked in.
Hey.
You know, we are interactive. We hope that you guys subscribe wherever you're watching it, whether it's on YouTube. You can click the bell to know when we go live. Ding. Bling. Instagram, Main Street Today Radio.
On the ground. I love it.
And you can follow me on Twitter, Devin O'Day, and on LinkedIn, because that's where we share a lot of stuff. So, and thank you to Josh who told this story today. So cool, from Brooks Healing Center, and a really, really wonderful place. Oh, everybody's checking in now.
Yes, check in.
Yeah, no, I
Roll
love it.
Call.
I know. And if you are catching this on the replay, like they do, like the young folks say, hashtag replay.
Yeah. You want to see me do it again?
Yeah. See, there you go. Well, this is it. Be safe, be kind. Remember, you are loved. Happy Friday.
Nothing like the sunrise with your coffee in the morning, or taking a good book off the shelf. Another thing I love the most than being on my own is together with everybody else. Together, like a silent Sunday service. Together, on my front porch with my friends. Together with who's ever there, standing next to me. Yeah, together is my favorite place to be.